Practice 5th. To converse interiorly with the angels. Render familiar to yourselves the converse of the holy angels, says Saint Bernard to his religious, and often call them to mind. We willingly converse with men, and behold the world is full of angels, and these most amiable and excellent in every point of view, and yet scarcely can there be found a few who think of them. Is it that we doubt of their presence, because we do not behold them with our bodily eyes? Have we not faith? Yes, but alas, it is greatly weakened by our attachment to earthly things. The holy solitaries, being disengaged from all, loved the company of the angels, and spent whole days in communing with them, while we find an hour much too long to converse with these blessed spirits. Poor blind creatures! Our life is wholly sensual. A certain holy person, being one day standing near a window which opened on a populous street, was suddenly favored with a ray of divine light, by which she saw that men lived in an almost total forgetfulness of spiritual things. Being thus penetrated, she listened to what those who were passing by said, and remarked that not one spoke of God, or of the angels. Some spoke of houses or farms, others of clothes, these of the weather, those of health, and the like. "Oh, how many angels pass by with these poor people," said she, "and yet no one thinks of them." Greatly affected at this consideration, she went to a fair which was then being held in the vicinity, to pay her respects interiorly to the angels whom she knew to be there in great numbers, in the company of those of whom they had care, and who were quite unmindful of them. Behold a practice worthy of imitation. When you walk through town, salute interiorly the angels of those whom you meet. When you go to the country, pay homage to the blessed spirits, who are there even more neglected, because of the ignorance of the poor peasantry. When you enter into a church, or a public assembly, let holy faith manifest to you the presence of the angels. When you make a journey, entertain yourself with the angels of those who travel with you. When among your friends, say from time to time a little word to their angels, and when alone with yourself, speak to and entertain these blessed spirits. If we exhort you to be familiar with and devout to all the angels, we are still more pressing in inviting you to honor that Holy Spirit to whose care God committed you at the moment of your birth. He thinks continually of you. Never lose sight of him. A little prayer, said morning and night, is too slight a testimony of your gratitude towards him. If a prince of the earth came to reside with you, would you think it enough to pay your respects to him, once or twice a day, and leave him alone the rest of the time? Particularly if his object was to load you with benefits and favors, of which you were utterly unworthy. Surely you would not. Alas! It is only to spiritual things that we are indifferent and insensible. Take then, a quarter or half an hour sometimes to pay this good angel your homage. Prostrate yourself before him, crave pardon for your past ingratitude, ask his blessing, tell him all you would wish to say to a most faithful friend. Now speak to him of your weaknesses, miseries, temptations, and then of the obligations you have to him, of his beauty, his perfections, his admirable qualifications. Converse with him as with a good father, a tender mother, an incomparable friend, a vigilant pastor, a charitable guide, a skillful physician, a powerful protector. Entertain your good angel at different intervals in one of these characters, and be assured that the time will pass much more agreeably and profitably than in the company of creatures. Sometimes you are at a loss for a companion. Behold your good angel always ready to converse with you. When a certain religious woman, who had no relations or friends that might visit her, was asked if she felt not mortified when she saw the other sisters visited. "No," replied she, "for I have a very amiable person to converse with, and when I learn that one of the community is called to the parlor, I immediately go and pay him a visit." As they did not understand what she meant, she led them to an image of an angel which was in the monastery, and said, "Behold my father, and mother, and friend and acquaintance. I assure you, I leave his company more content than our sisters leave the parlor." We ought also, often visit in spirit, heretical and infidel kingdoms, to converse with the angels of these poor people, and treat with them about their conversion. One day we can honor the angels of one kingdom, and another, the angels of some other. sometimes those of Canada or China, at others, those of Mexico or Japan. It would be advisable to visit, in spirit, the angels of Christian and Catholic countries also, who, as we before said, are but too much forgotten. Another very delightful practice is to traverse, in spirit, the heavenly Jerusalem, now saluting the cherubim, then the seraphim, and so the other choirs. It is also very laudable to salute the angels of our acquaintances when we meet them. This is easier than some may imagine. It is only necessary to make a little compact with yourself, which you will renew at least every month, that, as often as you salute any person, you will also salute his angel guardian. On these occasions, when you remember it, say interiorly to these holy angels, that you salute them. By this means, the recollection of these blessed spirits will be gradually facilitated. Some, when writing to friends, salute their angel guardians. I know it will be said that these practices are rare. I admit that they are so, but maintain that they ought to be general. It is an extraordinary thing to see a real saint, but as this deplorable truth should not hinder us from aspiring to sanctity, so that want of devotion to the angels, which is so general, cannot warrant us to refuse them our love and veneration.